Greetings and salutations, Ben, Trev, Terry. This is Canucks with Guitars, because we're Canucks.
Ew.
Hey, we're the Guitars. I'm Ben. I said that already. Right. If you're new, please subscribe, like, share, comment, all that fun stuff. Live Q&A here every Monday night with a slight change-up in a month. Oh, I didn't tell you guys that off air. Tentatively... You know, Trev, remember when I sent you that text last night?
Yep.
So, tentatively, January 2nd, I'm going to kick you two off the air for a night because Pete Thorne's going to come in and take your spot. Sorry.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that'll
be cool.
Tentatively. He's like, I can't do the next couple weeks. I got a bunch of demos. I'm like, I know. I watch your show. I'm aware. And he's like, how about... Like, when we're looking at the Monday before Christmas and then in between, Boxing Day, I'm like, hey, you're a Canuck, Boxing Day? He goes, nope, dealing with stuff. I think I won't say. But anyway, and then he's like, what about next week? I'm like, if you're up for the second, I'm down for that. So as long as he doesn't have to cram on figuring out some tunes for on the tour later that month, we should have Pete back
right on
again.
I guess as long as he's not now in Edmonton. You're good.
No. I won't say where he's spending the holidays, but I will tell you, Terry, the weather's much nicer than Edmonton, which really, what's better than Edmonton? Calgary is better weather than Edmonton. So.
Right here.
Yeah. Winnipeg without the wind is better weather than Edmonton. But when is it not?
That's a scary thought.
There? Yeah. When? I believe it was a Tuesday in March. I don't know. Who do we have in the chat? We got LRM Guitars, BC Rich 581, Thomas Santiago. Hey, there's Hip Metalworks. That's some good shit. This is catchphrase now. Unfucking believable. And last night's guest, Charles 75N. Billy Baloney's here. More on Charles 75N in a moment. I'll get to that. Cushman NYC, AQ Music. Who else do we have? My Knees Hurt. Yeah, 2 Mondays in a row, buddy. Paul McNary and the Cats. Sup, Cats? Felines. Dan of New Jersey. Randy Price. Stephen S. East Ridge 581. Eddie Fay. Octopus Ears. Billy Baloney. Keith Campbell. Terry's 3Gs. Never heard of him. Randy Crooks. Riff. Yep. Right, back down to the bottom. Yep. Keith H. What's up, buddy? Okay. Charles is lurking. Can't message back. So he's either driving, involved with family time on the down low, or and with the table. Yeah. So, yeah. Anyways, so it was interesting. Last night, okay, just take it another notch. Ooh, edibles. Let's have one of these. Anyways, so Ferd Burble. Anyways, Lawrence was in the chat of the pedals, and he said, hey, maybe we need to do a limited edition on a deluxe edition with the fabric wrap pedal, right? And then we were banding around, Terry, a fuzz pedal, right?
Yep.
I don't know if you happen to know this, Terry. There's a chip out there that you can use on a fuzz pedal. It's called the 75N chip.
That's right.
So, shouldn't a fabric wrap pedal be based off the 75N chip?
You'd think.
Actually, yeah. That would be a really cool idea.
Comments in the chat? Is that something that we have to have in our lives?
What kind of fuzz would that make it then?
Don't know, don't care. It's a 75N chip fabric. Yeah. It's got to be awesome. Proves your tone by 139%. I don't know how. It does. Everyone's saying hey to each other. Oh, I forgot how potent those things are. Oh, it's like I'm chewing on a bush. That's a pungent taste.
What kind of edible is it?
I don't know. What's supposed?
If it tastes like a bush.
Oh, Mr. Kush. Indica full spectrum. Oh, it's full spectrum. It's not on the spectrum. It's all the spectrum. all the spectrum.
Oh boy.
Michael Krause, what's up, buddy? He says, I don't need it. However, I do want it. Yep. Okay, yep.
Heard I knew a girl.
High dose, use as directed. Do not drive or operate heavy machinery. Keep away from the kids. Yeah. Or
Jeez.
me. Whatever.
Just
Anyways,
in
it
case
wouldn't be the first time, I'm sure, Ben. Yep. Exactly. Can you talk about the impact of quality guitar cables versus cheap guitar cables on guitar tone? Yes, right after I say, sup to Blackjack Guitar and hello, DW from Texas. Awesome sounding.
Nice.
A Dr. Fabric Fuzz. Exactly, Michael Krause. Fabric Fuzz. I like it. All right, so cables, yes. Good cables definitely make a difference. One, they last longer, so there's that. Two, I find, let's say, Terry, a better quality. Okay, you got two 20-foot cable, right? But the good 20-foot cable compared to the crappy 20-foot cable is going to sound like a 10-foot cable. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Trev, you know what I'm talking about? Because the longer cable is, you get a certain amount of roll-off because of capacitance within the cable.
Yeah, you lose a little bit of signal, they say.
That's why curly cables are a thing. They do affect your tone because there's a lot of cable there all curled up and stuff. Capacitance. So it's similar, yeah. In theory, like the longer cable you use, you'll lose more high end. Just like going through more pedals on a pedal board without buffers, you're losing signal. It can only go so far, is what I'm saying. So a better cable quality, we're talking better, is able to retain the signal for longer stretches. You know, and then the scientists got involved. That's why you can't buy 20-foot cables anymore, Trev. Did you notice that? They went to like 18.8 feet a few years ago because they realized that extra bit made a difference.
The threshold.
Yeah, actually.
Didn't lower the price by that margin, mind you. But
no.
Coiled cables, aka antennas. Yeah.
I like John's comment.
John DeShane,
just buy a good
just
cable.
buy a good cable. Yes. Learn how to wrap your cables. Exactly, Michael Krause. There's a couple of ways to do that, a right and a wrong way. I subscribe to a couple. There's a couple ways you can do it. I have used different ones in the past, and depends. Don't do the you're stretching it. Don't, unless it's just loosey goosey. You're just using this as a margin of error, Trev, not a focal point. Don't.
The trick is to twist it a little bit while you're.
JP Page 2's here, I assume, because I see people saying hey to him, but I didn't actually see him in here. So, what about a boot for Canadians? Shielding on the cables. I like shielded cables. More shielding, the better, because I already have a potentially noisy signal.
Yeah, I was gonna say
I'm able to quiet mine down a lot. Like, for instance, I upgraded cables, for instance. Like, all right, I understand you're on a budget, right? But these should only be used for emergencies. Okay?
Yeah.
I know, Trev. They're only $2 and they're in the fishbowl at the music store. 2 to 3, we'll say. And, and a fella can snag on these very affordably. And believe me, Terry, I probably bought 100 of these in my life, right?
Yeah.
These little buggers here. I got a 6-pack of these for like, I think it's $15.
Well, this is what I'm going to say. Then a fella snagged on these MXR ones. You can tell they're MXR ones because it says MXR on them.
Yeah.
But, they got the pancake with the screw-em-ons, Trev. That's why I got them, because as soon as one of these fails, I got 90s. Exactly. You can reuse these, because these suckers, just to buy these two things, they're basically throwing this in for free, is what I'm saying, Terry.
Yeah.
So, I like these. The one issue, the top loader pedals, not too friendly, very wide. Okay?
True.
So in that happenstance, we're talking about all the cables tonight. All right. Do I have one not in use?
Crappy cables where you get this thing happening.
All right. This is what I use for my top loaders.
This can be repairable.
I got some of these from Scott Brockway, and I got some of these from one. Maybe I got some of the MX. Did I get the MXRs from? No, I got a bunch of Fenders, I think, from Scott Brockway. That's what it is. Scott gave me, which are basically the same design as the Ernie Ball sax. So this is an Ernie Ball one. You can tell, Terry, because it's got Ernie Ball logo on it. That's why I tell. I don't know about you, but and then it says it's for an instrument. There is a difference. No, there is a difference because speaker cables are different.
Well, yes, but a cable that short, how likely?
No, you would hear it because it'd be like an open ground. Believe me, I accidentally used the speaker cable instead of a guitar cable in myself. I was like, I'm like, what in the deuces? But yes, see, so again, I don't like these because these always come undone. All of them. I don't know how they stay on my pedal board, but they come undone. I don't like, but narrow. Now, if you're European flavored, like our friends Lucas and Martin, right? Where are these? Rockboard, which I think is part of a Toman brand. They got these little connectors, and these are nice too.
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Because this folds down to nothing. See, in between the pedals.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you do it that way, yeah.
Speaker cable has no shielding. Thank you, Lawrence. I appreciate that. Okay, so we got 2 votes for the Origami brand, or whatever they are. John Shane and Lawrence. Shielded with Saskatchewan sealskin. Yes, I like that. See, Eddie, I suspect you're not a Canuck, but you have enough Canuck-like references that you're on honorary Canucks, so you fit right in here, buddy. I'm glad
he's watched a lot of Super Dave Osborne.
Well, there's that. All right, so let's put this patch cable back before we're going, why don't these pedals work? And there's another random just MXR cable just laying on. I have a lot of, these are not in use, and I have 2 pedal boards down there. So, anyways. That's the story on that. Yes, but yes, good cables. Yeah. My longer cables, I've got D'Addario and / Planet Waves, because that's what was available at the time. It's not my Roxanne Blues. And then we got a Yorkville cable, trying on one of them, which is basically the same design as the Ernie Ball / Fender ones, except they put shrink wrap right over it, so it's either going to not loosen off, Terry, but more likely loosen off, and you can't tighten it because it's got fucking shrink wrap all over it.
This is the Yorkville here.
Yeah, and I have straight on one and 90 on the other.
Now busted, and you can pull it back.
Yes, I have a PV cable like that, which I bought in high school and still works.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Yes, and the shielding came off on one, and it was branded shielding. It said PV and then Ardens on it as well. Hey, what's up, Bozique? I mentioned you on last night's show, Bozique. I was talking about Philly tacos.
That's right.
Mr. Anderson 59, good to see you. JP Page, I used to like Fender cables, and then they stopped doing lifetime warranty. And then I stopped liking them because even their custom shop cables, they break. They last 5 years for me.
Lawrence.
Yeah, go out on a good note, Lawrence. See you, but Lawrence, the collab with Charles. I was saying the 75N chip. For the collab with Lawrence, fuzz bass with a 75N chip. I don't know. What does that sound like? I don't know what that uses, but we can think about that and talk. Sup, young Mr. Radford? All good, Bozique. Yeah, I try to get cables that are easily replaced because they all break on me.
Well, and that lifetime warranty is a pretty good thing. I mean, at that point, you can roll the dice on it if it.
Yeah, and the key to that is it's always printed on the cable. Put a piece of Scotch tape where it prints that on the cable, Trev, because most time, your cable ends up just being black after all the writing rubs off. And they're like, how do I know that's a lifetime warranty cable?
Yeah.
That's why. Put a little piece of Scotch tape over where it says lifetime warranty, folks. It'll help you in the long run. 49% humidity we're up to now in the room. Excellent.
Oh, there you go.
Trying a humidifier out, folks. It's a little one here. It's a Vicks Vapor Rub one, but I didn't put any Vicks Vapor Rub in. The guitarist, they said, we just want some water.
Yeah.
We don't need any Vapor Rub. Maybe put some lemon oil in the top, something. I don't know. Maybe that'll condition the fretboards ambiently. I don't know. What should we put in there? Naphtha fluid? No, that's just a bomb. So, yeah.
Maybe some weed oil.
Any questions, folks? That was a good one on the cables. Wow.
Yeah.
That was like, I think, almost like a Pete Thorne answer, if dare I say, Trev. Not just due to volume of time.
We didn't touch on the active pickups and how that affects things going through chain and cables.
Yep.
Built-in buffer doesn't hurt.
That's an idea, Billy. iRock wants a combination chorus distortion pedal from LPD. Nice. Randy Upchurch. No need to cough. Sorry. Yeah, well, actually, good thing you did cough. I did see it earlier, and then it's like, squirrel! Oh, dang it. Brad Guitar Miller. Sup. Chief Bottle Washer over at PTM Guitars, one of our show sponsors. Mr. Anderson's going hardcore with the Belden stuff. Yep. I went through a lot of Belden cable when I worked for the military. They're like, what are you using that for, Trev? Because when we had old cables didn't work, I was cutting off all the ends, and then I let the privates, practice soldering cables.
Yeah.
It's funny, though, rather than, cutting off a length of cable about a foot long for them to practice soldering on, I go... So, most of the cables for my PA system originally were all military grade. I was doing 30-foot runs. I'm like, we haven't used this stuff in months. Get near the year end, procurement comes up. Order another spool.
By the way, nice to see Alex Radford again.
Always great to see Alex. Octopus Ears says he needs a compressor and a looper. All right.
Just when you thought the itch was on with his new guitars and his new amplifier, he's like, that's it. That's all I'm going to do. Maybe one more thing. And that was a week ago. All
right. D-Mac, I believe the broiler was just a limited run. Although you may see a second run down the road as parts become available. We shall see. But generally, once they're gone, they're gone. Generally. All right. So, no, I was using Nutrink connectors. We just bought bags of 1/4-inch jacks from Nutrink, or the supplier that carried Nutrink, which is what most cable companies, a lot of them use. So compressor, I always go to the Keeley compressor. It's my thing. The Keeley Compressor Plus. Where's one for? Do you have one to show? I do, but where is it? Oh man, it's way back. All right, I gotta go into the back 40.
Almost makes me think like, oh, wait a second, I gotta go into my
back
room to
almost lost a Dodd. Did you see that, folks? Caught a Dodd that fell off the shelf at the same time. We just saved a super distortion. I don't know if it needed saving, but we saved. Oh, it's the battery cover that's rattling. With the quality offset foam on the bottom. Gap on that side? No gap. Lip? Yes. Okay. Whew, that was scary.
It only turns left, right?
Yeah. All right. So, it's stagger, tire stagger. There you go. Keeley Compressor Plus. You can tell mine's been used because it's dirty. No, I just don't clean it. But yeah, it's been on several boards. Probably go back on this board at some point if I need a compressor for something. But it's there for when I need it. Apparently, these are my settings.
Hey, Keith Campbell and Fruitcake Tony.
What's up, T-Cake?
Nice.
I saw Keith in here earlier. Must have left and come back. The Boss loopers I hear are good. I have an RC1. Sure.
See a lot of those dittos around.
How do you turn the blend knob on your Keeley? The blend is... Oh, yeah, you can't see it. So here, so it doesn't wash out. Easy. No, let's try the side. No. How about we do that? Can a fellow shade it? There. Hold it. There. It's at about 1:32 o'clock. Okay, so there's no top dot. There's 2 dots at the top. Go to the dot to the right on the top, and then 1 dot over, further to the right. That's the dot I'm pointed at.
Yeah, I got a Ditto looper too. They're almost as readily
They're very common.
The
Ditto looper.
Crybaby Wah.
Yeah. Ditto looper. There you go. What was the next question? Oh no, I answered that one. All right. Was there another question? Yeah, exactly, Keith. Right? Nobody's letting me in traffic.
Randy Upchurch says, did anyone see the expensive Headrush looper board is price reduced $400 from its $900 list? WDF.
Well, I don't even pay attention to Headrush because I just hear Headrush and I just think, oof, expensive. You know? That's like, what's that? Eventide. Nope. That's not my tax bracket, Trev. Yeah. Just forget it. You know. Now, however, you say electroharmonics, I'm like, oh. What's up, Christopher? And
Mr. Sawa?
excuse me. Excuse me. I saw back here. Scroll. Randy Crook's got the Tom Petty box set from a 20-day residency at the Fillmore 99. It's on its way to me. Supposed to be here on the 8th. Nice.
That'll be pretty nice.
Tom Petty's one of my faves. The Cali 76 is a good compressor as well, John. I was trying to remember the name of it. Yeah. Or a Boss compressor. A lot of people like the Boss compressors for years. But I have an old Boss. What the fuck is it? CS2 compressor sustainer. CS2.
Ooh.
The most sought after is the CS1, and then you see a lot of CS3s. Well, see, no, John, there we go. Okay. Headrush has some cheaper modeling stuff, too. I don't really pay attention to the virtual gear. I prefer actual gear. I don't know. It's just me. That it can apparently fall off a shelf easily. That's why we really need to build the pedal shelves. Angled, Trev. Like, they do the magazines. I'll just do the angled shelves with the feet on the bottom. Yeah. That's a project for this winter, maybe. We'll see.
All along the top of the wall, just enough of a gap to put.
Oh, I'd actually like to do this wall as a pedal wall, a la Josh Scott. That'd be nice.
Hey, Rock Daddy.
What's up, Rock Daddy?
Cheers.
Hit the like if you haven't already, folks, please. Helps a fella out. Since this fell off, I think this wants to be played with, so I'm going to have to plug this in later. I forget what it sounds like.
Jumped off at you for a reason.
Yeah, I was like, hey! It's almost the end of the year of the Dodd.
Hey, you forgot about me.
Which, we're up to, what did we end up with, 7 Dodds on the year? Started with 1 or 2, ended up with 7.
Wow. Didn't think it got that high.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, we don't count you, Screaming Blues. You're a Digitech. You're Dodd adjacent. Digitech is not a Dodd. All right. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No. 7, because I got, of course, the octave is on my board. Still want to get a Boss octave. If anyone's got a Boss octave they want to trade or sell at affordable rates. What do we got back there? Just a oh yeah, Jim. 7 phasers, not 6. Found one after the Zoom call. Forgot about that one up there. Actually, it's 2 phasers hiding up there. 2 of the 3 pedals behind the row of pedals you can't see are phasers.
DMAC asks in the chat, any of you guys play that mini Ibanez delay pedal or any recommendation, any other mini delays?
The only mini Ibanez pedal I've ever tried is the mini Tube Screamer. Sounds like a Tube Screamer. I own 1 Ibanez pedal. Nope, I own 4.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah, that's right.
Because I got 3 from the lock series, the locks where you push the knobs down and they become flush, so you can't twist on them. And then we got over there a compressor limiter, which does a thing, but not really compressing anything. Oh, you did octopus ears. Dang it. Dang it. Oh, well. There is an Ibanez. I would like their jet flanger. I really like their jet flanger. I should have bought that. It was not. It was like $100. I should have bought it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was with Mayhem. Well, the problem is, Terry, if I spent the money that day on it, I would be not eating for a few weeks, because it was like that would have been the money for the month right there. Keith, yes, we were talking about that off air. Des is liquidating some of Dave's gear that she does not want to retain, and yeah, no low balls. And reach out to her through Facebook if you can connect her, or reach out to Dave Nesdall through Facebook. Either way, look them up, and she's been posting some stuff on Dave's account. She's listed some stuff, and basically she says, as far as the guitars go, if it isn't listed, it's either already gone or it's not for sale. Yeah. Randy says, I didn't think you did, boss. Okay, all these. They're F1, they're Ford F-150s, Trev, right? I've said it before, It's not, they do a thing, and they do it okay. I don't know if they do it well, but do I have a boss pedal on my board currently? Well, yeah. No. Although, see, I was thinking about possibly the Dimension from Des. I saw that because Dave had a Dimension, I thought, because I've been hankering for one of those. So maybe, and then I thought no. But because there's one hiding there. So that'd be 6, 10, 15. There's 15 boss pedals there. Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah. And I've sold boss pedals.
Well, I mean, the other reality is they come up pretty cheap on Kijiji too, off and on.
From time to time, but not all the time. What's up, Boomer?
Yeah.
Gear Jug 35. New pedal day. Oh, X5 Fuzz. Can't wait to play it tomorrow. We going to show it last night. And if LPD does run, it has to. Yeah, it has to use the 75N transistor. Which the 75N Fuzz, right? That's what I was. Yeah, that's who I was chatting with. He came up with the idea. I am not taking credit for that. What was I looking for? Who? What brand? Nope. Apparently, I have 2 BBE pedals. Again, don't use them.
Oh.
I also have 2 Rocktech pedals. Got a lot of 2s. 2 Memphis pedals. More than 2. I have more than 2 MXR pedals. Earthquaker? What about them? Do I have 2? 1, 2, 1. 1? Really? Oh, I used to have another Earthquaker, but I sold it. I had their delay. Aaron sent me the mini dispatcher, something like that. Mini delays, right?
Yeah.
I don't. The smallest delay I have is my MXR carbon copy. That's not mini.
Somebody was mentioning there's an.
I've had several mini. I got rid of basically all my mini pedals. I have a handful of mini pedals left. I got rid of 30 of them there last few months. Well, no, they weren't all mini pedals. Probably 20 of them were. Oh, there's more over there. All right, so there's more to go.
More hiding around.
Next time I need something, that's the thing. Next time I need something at the music store, I'll just take here. What's up, Travis? John loads mini pedals. Why? Because they always tip over when you try to step on them. That's my biggest problem. You got to watch what Velcro use. You get them too high, they're whoa. It's like walking on platform shoes. You don't want to turn an ankle trying to turn on a chorus pedal or something.
Right.
Even if you probably put those big stomp buttons on it, probably doesn't help it either.
Well, which I do, because generally I try cramming them in as much as possible too, right?
Yeah.
Do I have any mini pedals? I do have one mini pedal on my board, in fact. Can anyone guess what the one mini pedal on my board is?
I got to guess. Oh, wait. Let the chat chime in.
Outlaw Effects.
No. Not even the company, Terry. Eddie Faye, I did not. That was some music that our friend Ty Price, he put together those intro videos for me. Except for the one that Rex, I think Rex wrote the stuff tonight, I assume. Not a tuner. Actually, my tuner's really small. It's even smaller.
That's what I was just going to
say. It's like a third the size of a
tuners.
mini pedal.
Well,
Yeah, I'm not counting that, because that's like a micro pedal. Let's see if anyone guesses.
I'm trying to think.
Not an exotic boost, although good call, because they are, basically industry standard, right? Like if you see a mini pedal on someone's board, it's one of these, or either the RC booster or the other one, the main booster, the exotic boost.
Hey,
I
Laz.
can't think of them.
Cheers,
What's up, Laz? Brother Laz. It is not a boost pedal.
Hey,
All right,
there's
Brad.
the birthday guy.
My question to you is, do you agree with LRM guitars?
The Phase 95? I know you got one.
Because that's what's on my board. LRM guitars win. Boner jams.
Cheers.
I'll
boy.
let Trev answer this while I smoke a bowl on Boner's behalf.
What's good, everyone? Smitty, getting hotter as these days. Well, it's the new hair conditioner I'm using, right? And the cold Canadian weather. You freeze something and it lasts longer.
Yeah, we all got 2K, eh?
I got a tooth. You're wearing my tooth. It's getting cold enough out here.
But the birthday boy has chimed in the chat. He says,
Oh, did he?
there-
I don't know. Laz is just going with all the letters, which is awesome.
Laz.
Thanks again, Boner Jams. Much appreciated. Yes, let's... Where?
Was he?
Hey, Richard Knoll. EP
Guitar
Booster.
Man
Thank you,
45
Richard.
comes up.
That was what I was trying to... Right, so, Guitar Man 45, the birthday boy, is on the road with his daughter. So, I need to... Oh, there. That works. I don't have to plug it in. Perfect.
Home in about half an hour.
I heard someone turned 60 today, which is like 100 in human years, 60 as a musician. Ooh. And we've heard a few of the stories, so congratulations, my friend. I want to say have an amazing birthday. I've known Guitar Man 45 virtually for about 5 years now, and he's one of the cool cats. You guys have anything to say about it?
I agree 100%.
I hope you have had an awesome day today, and hope
We
you
had
have a
some
great time
Detroit
out for
coming his way.
your dinner, and safe travels back and forth, and to another 60.
Yes. Yeah, awesome. I hope you're having an awesome day, man. We're really hoping you'd be able to pop in. Do we have? Can we do a special? Here. That doesn't even show up. That just makes noise. There. Ooh. Fancy like. All this thing does, Terry, is the one. Yep, there it is. There's one lens that blinds me, and the rest glow at best. So. Oh, there. Yeah. On the top one. The top one's a bright one too. Ooh.
Well, that might be reaching back. Boogie Woogie birthday.
Yeah, that one turns bad. That's for when Quentin shows up.
Cheers,
Oh,
Rock
God.
Daddy.
Looks like cops some. Looks like snowplow to me. Yeah, I see a swirling blue light. I'm like, snowplow.
Yeah, sure.
That's right, Hip. We were chatting with the birthday boy there on Saturday as part of the Zoom call for our patrons and channel members. We do twice a month, as well as exclusive content and shout outs. Yep. By the way, you may notice in Hip there, and it's broken. Oh, there we go. So that's, yeah.
Mhm.
Does it? Oh, maybe it's still alive. That can't be good. We'll just push this in and pretend we didn't do that.
Nope.
All right. So this
They'll fix up easy with a little bit of duct tape.
Well,
Glue
let's
boost.
get back to the glue boost, yeah. The crazy glue.
Yeah, glue boost. Yep.
Hey, it's alive.
Yeah.
Looks better on there. It looks way. It's not that good. Fortunately, my sister bought it. What was I? Oh, the patrons, right?
Yeah.
All right. I want to shout out. You can help out by being a lot of double dippers here, Trav. I've noticed, and I thank you, double dippers, which is people that are members and patrons, because they get the toques in the chat and they get the shout out. So where's that's the link. Boom. Get shout out too. Last night's guest, Charles 75N. Last night's cameo, unfucking believable. Charles Green, the Sunday's guest. There's no correlation, folks, honestly. Gear Junkie 35, Symmetry. Grumpy Mike Guitar, Jeff K, Bent Tom, John ZD351, JP Page 2, Ferd Burfel, Other Left, Paul McNary, and the Cats. Keith H, Blackjack Guitar. Actually, I think it's the Cats more than Paul, to be honest. It's the Cats.
And more votes.
Fruitcake Tony, Blackjack Guitar, Keith H, Paul McNary, right. Mohogany, Randy Crooks, Cousin Doug Strong, just to confuse people. I now have two Cousin Dougs. They actually don't live that far from each other. Couple things about Cousin Todd Flowers, Birthday Boy, Guitar Man 45, T Ricky, and LRM Guitars. So,
Nice.
what's Ben tearing up tonight? Hey, Herb. Well, we dropped the light, and we rebuilt it here live on air. I know it's not the same as buying a vintage guitar live on air. How fun was that last night, guys?
Yeah, that was cool.
I sent a one-word reply, Terry, because I got a message, on that he slid into my DMs, if you will, and he says, "Hey, what do you think of a fella popping on and buying a vintage guitar live on air?" And I just replied, "Yes." And then I saw what the guitar was, and then I went, yes. So, yeah. So that was fun, yeah. 89 Strat Plus.
Mm-hmm.
I don't even recall that finish.
Yeah, you're right.
I've
I was
always
going
been.
to say, when I seen that finish, I was just like, wow, I've never
It was
seen
89.
one of those.
Yes. Yeah, 90s is vintage, up to 92 is vintage, and then, next month, 93 becomes vintage, Michael Gross. I know. Scary thought. I'm going out of town on Wednesday, Terry. Did I tell you?
Nope.
Road trip.
Yeah. I'm going to go all the way over to Brighton.
Wow.
2 fucking towns over. So I'm going to go visit our friendly neighborhood hooligan, Richie.
Oh, cool.
Oh.
I'm going to pick up that speaker cab and then hang out. And he says, "Hey." He said, "Drive." He said, "Hey." I said, "What?" He says, "Do you think a fella could bring that VHT over with you? I've never played one of them, and I really want to." Well, I did specifically buy it, so it would be portable, and I could take it to places to play around with it. So, yeah. But I told him I'm not bringing the big pedal board. He's like, "Oh, come on," because he wants to check out. I'm like, "No, you got to come over here for that, bud."
I'm just laughing at Guitarman 45's comment there. Hey, I did see an 89 Strat today.
That's still, yeah, that's a pretty good deal. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's interesting enough. See, which shows how much of it. Yeah, because if it's all stock, it'd be $100 more because the Strat Plus was a nicer guitar, but it did have some mods done to it, which would depreciate the value. So,
Yeah.
yes, join the club, Bo. Please join the club. I just want to see the Meltdown by Charles. He's like, what? Everyone getting 1989 Strats? Yes, Charles. Yes, Charles. If you want to be one of the cool kids, you need a 1989 Strat.
Well, I was going to say the last time I seen one pop up on Kijiji up around here, the
All
person
stock.
wanted,
Yep.
yeah, all stock. I think they wanted 26.
No, that's what Bo just said. All stock. I was just confirming Bo. I'm like, yeah, snag on that, Bo. I would.
Yeah, at that price, for sure.
That's like roughly $2,000 Canadian.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And you think, what's the cost of a new Strat? An American Pro? Because that's basically what the standard became. So, I don't know, Trev. You got the same amount of money. Other than warranty, what would you rather have? A new Strat or a 30-year-old Strat?
One that's proven itself worthy. Yeah.
Right? Oh, speaking of the defibrillator.
You're right.
And he said he will post pics when the Strat Plus arrives.
Awesome. I look forward to it. See, unbelievable, right? Bo should get it, right? He's like, yeah, I don't want to be the only guy buying it. You don't have to.
You mentioned
You don't have to come on,
Charles chimes in.
Yeah. Oh, I know. Richard Knoll says, love my 94 Hamer USA Daytona Strat. Great quality. I would like to see that guitar. Because it's got two things I like in there. Hamer and Daytona. I assume it has stripes. But not the stripes that you're thinking of. I think they're more all going in the same direction. Just bought a 35-year-old Main Japan Strat on Saturday. Ooh.
Nice.
Very nice. That'd be what? An 87. Interesting.
Yeah, the reason why I mentioned the Blackie last night was because in that time frame, Fender used lace sensors in a lot of their product. Like there was
that was the pro thing, right?
Yeah.
And God love Fender. They've stuck to the noiseless thing. Like they're now what, 5th generation noiseless.
Yeah.
They're at. And even before they were doing the lace sensor stuff, they were doing in the original Elite Strats of the early 80s. They had the dummy coil. Same concept. Basically, you're trying to make them noiseless. So, Billy Baloney says Hamers are all top notch. No, most yes. Some of those slammers were kind of plywoody guitars back in the day. So,
yeah, that's true. The low end of the line.
That's like saying all vintage Kramers are awesome. Not necessarily. The Strikers were not so good. Or
I was
all Charvel made prior to 2000, Trev. All Charvel. Well, not necessarily. Because Charvel's also made the Charvettes, and they're not awesome.
I was looking at this just yesterday.
Trevor was looking at this just yesterday. Let's solo Trev out.
And it's a really good looking guitar.
A Hamer.
$800 Canadian. A Hamer.
800 for that? Ooh, that's a good deal.
Trev. That's
Bound.
Nice. I'm going to assume it's made in Korea.
Let's see.
2009.
Got all the stats, but no country of origin. Does it show back
is there, there you go.
Oh, there it is. Made in Korea.
It's an Indo.
Like.
Wow, set neck out of Indo, eh? Looks like kind of cheap tuners, but who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah, putting locking tuners on there, right?
Well, it's like, you figure, it's just like something like, okay, we're looking there. There's a nice, bare minimum, that's a beautiful platform to work with, right?
Yeah.
The same as if you're buying an Epiphone or a Harley Benton or any, like, worst case, you're a set of pickups and tuners and a nut. right? Worst case scenario.
As long as the
Which
wood's
doesn't
straight.
have to do with you done all this.
That's a $200 case for Christ's sake.
Gear Junkie 35. He's defending the Chevette. Well, maybe you got the good one.
Isn't that kind of like the Chevette? That's what comes to
It's
my
kind of
mind.
comparing Corvette and a Chevette. Kind of Charvel and a Charvette. That's what I thought immediately. I'm like, these are the Chevettes of Charvels. Oh, see, now for $40, yes.
Okay.
Yes. Then, well, even, like, I don't know. Like, would a Chevette be worth $300? And just hope it. You gotta hope it's complete. You're not going to be able to replace vintage shitty hardware, Terry. You can't do that. Oh, I don't know, Trev. You lost one of the doohickeys on the locking nut. It's only got 2 of the 3 clamp downs, right? You're like, all right, well, it's a German Floyd. I'll just get another German locking nut. Same. Nobody cares. But if it's the 80s equivalent of an F1000 setup, do you put the super high-end locking nut, and will it even fit in place? Are they the same machine, right?
Tolerances, yeah.
How much filing am I going to have to do to make either it or, whatever? That's right, Billy. Don't buy any guitar that rhymes with Chevette. Although,
800.
wasn't there was a guitar company that did a Corvette model for some reason. I don't know who it was. Was that like an airline Corvette? Something Corvette. It was a Corvette. Who made the Corvette guitar? And it wasn't a guitar that was based off the Corvette, I'm saying. Like, it seems to me there was a model somebody named me. Maybe? Or did I dream that? I don't know. So the question is, are you going to pull the trigger on that hammer? Eddie Fay asks.
Still thinking about it. More money than I need to spend on a guitar, but it does look pretty sweet.
It's weird. Everything here is saying that all the hammers were made in USA, but that stamping on the back of that
hangs from Condor Corvette.
I like how Blackjack Guitar spelled Charvel. Hey, the lamb! What's up, buddy?
Gretsch Corvette?
I got home today just as the lamb was wrapping up his live stream. Dang it!
Look, there's the car and the guitar in the same picture.
I thought there was a Corvette.
No, it's a Les Paul.
Yeah. What's up, Melon? Always chase the dragon. Schecter? Could have been Ferd. Nice, the lamb. In the 80s, there was a company that made guitars that would look like the wing on a 57 Chevy. I remember those.
Fender did a custom shop one.
A
few times did.
Oh yeah, I don't recall any famous players actually playing one. Like, I would like to think Billy Gibbons probably had one for the hell of it. But I remember seeing them, and my dad's just like, what the hell? Because it seems to me they weren't even wood. They might have been fiberglass something, and the inlay for the Bel Air portion was metal. How about a Canadian-made Eastwood? Well, Canadian-owned Eastwood. They're not made in Canada. They're made in China. But they're owned by, I want to say Mike Nicholson? Rob Nicholson? No. Oh, Mike Davidson is the owner, along with, I think Dennis Fano may be part owner of Eastwood as well. They're cool guitars. I did a little bit of work with them in the past. On the Valco side of things. The taillight lit up when you used the wiggle stick.
That means it big batteries.
Oh. Okay, Billy Gibbons and Bo Diddley. Okay. Gretsch Corvette. See, that sounds familiar.
Yeah, we found that.
Yeah. Brian Hall's here. Just realized as I'm looking at him twice in the chat there, and I'm like, oh, probably should say hi to her. What's up, Brian? Hope you didn't mind me giving you a bit of a hard time last night. It's all in good fun. It's great having you on the hang. Look forward to hearing from you a little more next time. We'll see. Yeah, we were talking about the 57 Chevy guitar. 80s. Hashtag 80s.
Another one of those SGs in red.
Yeah, thanks again, Charles75N, for coming on last night. And if you haven't already, check out Charles's channel. He puts out a lot of cool videos. Fabric wrapping guitars. Doing binding.
Yeah.
Well, that's
different kind of science there.
Breaking news. If you're a fan of her in Cheers and various other things, actress Kirstie Alley has died at the age of 71, succumbing to her battle with cancer.
Oh, that's bad.
I was turning up the heat because I noticed it's 66.9 degrees in here, and I'm starting to get a little chill. Will do, Bo. Will do. Of course, my dad's awake at 2 in the morning. Send out. Dad lives on Facebook these days. That's basically it, because he's not mobile, so he's pretty much on Facebook 24/7. And then he'll say, how do I know this person? I'm like, they're a friend of mine, Dad. Oh, okay. A lot of you fine folks have reached out over the years and connected with them, so. It's like, I don't know half these people. I'm like, yeah, you do, actually, in a way. You'd be surprised how often these people ask about them.
I was just going to say, I just quickly did a Google search to see if I could locate hammer manufacturing facilities, and all of them say in the U.S., none of them say outside of the U.S., which is strange.
For what? For hammer?
Yeah, for a hammer.
They've been built in several countries. The U.S., Korea,
well,
China.
I know, that's what I was saying, because looking at that one that Trevor has, that has to be like a more recent one.
Well, it's 2009, it said.
Did it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Ah, thanks, Ryan.
That would have to be import then. Yeah.
I hear you, my knees hurt. You don't have to pay for it.
Oh, there you go. My knees hurt said his hammer's a Korean.
D-Max says, speaking of 57, what do you guys think of Gibson 57 classic pickups? Well, I assume that they're, with a name like that, they'd be based off of PAF. Excuse me. I may have tried them. I don't know.
I've played local friend. He's had his 335 as 57s. And in a 335, they're very nice. And SGs, I hear they're also pretty nice too.
So, Kurt?
Like I said, they're a classic. They're kind of, I think they're Alnico 2 PAFs, if I remember correctly.
Okay. I don't know. All I can say is I played, I don't know, let's say 20 or so Gibson Lester Pulfuses, Trev, plugged in. We're not talking the ones you just noodle on in the music store. None not plugged in, right? Because we're talking pickups. At no point have I just like, wow, these pickups sound like ass. Like, because to me, you plug in Gibson, they generally match up the pickups to the guitar. And if it's a Les Paul HP, and I played a few of those, Terry, I expected them to be a little more ballsy. And those were where you would have a little hotter pickup it. And that's fine. And I got it. And I was like, okay, that's cool. Yeah. Saves the fellow from ripping it out and throwing, a DiMarzio Super Distortion or a JB or whatever, whatever flavor pickup you want. Ferd says, yep, Alnico 2. Awesome. And I did want to shout out Kurt 5150, another one of the bottle washers there over Wednesday nights on Under the Bus Network, which is, it's just, it's a frat house with guitars is what it is, Trev, every Wednesday night.
Pretty much.
Good times. And a fun group of guys. the lamp for his PFs, his PAFs, same thing, on the weaker side. Yeah, that's the whole thing, right? Like a good, in my opinion, which take it or leave it, dealer's choice. When I think PAF, I think low output and glassy sounding, Trev.
Yeah.
Classic. Like I want to sound like RJ on a clean tone. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
That's what I want. Like I want to be able, if I want to, I can put in the middle, play Mr. Sandman or something like that. Like I want to sound like Les Paul. But then as soon as you throw some, but it'll still take some grit. But it's not going to be. I don't want plug-in also. I sound like Dimebag. That's not what they're for.
Right.
That, then you get the Gibson pickup that Charles has, the unnamed one that's 15.8K Gibson pickup.
Bucket territory.
I still say that was a fella's just like, you know what? A fella's just going to special wrap on a pickup for himself to take on home.
What happened?
No label. And then he scoop, bin. Ah!
Well, that's what I was saying. It sounds like the 500T that was in that Flying V Faded I had back in the day. And that thing,
did they ever put out a 15K pickup,
no
though?
bass, no mid. It was all treble and all gain. It was terrible.
Yeah, that'd be more the pot, though, for all treble.
No, the pickup was wound and geared that way, and I was just like, ugh. That was another big reason why I ended up pulling the pickups out of it as well, too.
Makes sense. Oh, I'd like a 15K pickup in a Flying V. Why not?
Yeah.
Then I'm getting my Scott Ian on. Oh boy!
Yeah.
All the chime. Presley, California Customs reports in. Just got my certificate from Established Titles, sponsored land in Canada to be an actual Canuck.
Oh, nice.
Nice. I like it.
Perfect.
Michael Kurz. Thank you. I just want to sound like Les Paul and Thin Lizzy, damn it. A PAF would be perfect for that.
Yeah, to me, I think the 57 Classics from Gibson are their quintessential cream of the crop kind of pickup.
Kind of like the burst bucker too. Kurt mentioned that one. My Fishmans have a burst bucker mode.
They've always seemed like if you pick up a Les Paul and like, oh, it was with burst buckers this year. Well, it might have been that the wood was a little deader, so they put a hotter pickup in it. I don't know.
Yeah.
But it just seems that I go in year to year, plug in a Les Paul, kind of sounds like a Les Paul. So
a 15K noiseless P90. Whoa. That thing's gonna scream.
Hot, hot, hot. That pickup's going to be hot, hot, hot. Sounds like someone need to take a leak in the middle of winding that pickup. Exactly.
Rock that. Yeah, I want to hear that. You should go to Zim's shop and plug into a Marshall.
Trev, like the bridge pickup I took out of my signature guitar, that was a P90. I had Travis wind up to 8.9, maybe only 8.3, somewhere there in the 8s. I don't think we got into the 9s with it. And that thing, ooh, like good thing it's noiseless because that, like on stage, you would hear the pickup switch clicking into play. One of those through your signal chain, click, and it was like. I'm pretty sure it was picking up our conversation, like it was, because it was wax potted, but it doesn't matter. Like Travis, when I told him what I wanted, he's like, "Are you sure?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, and then he came out with a noiseless version of it, which I still gotta sort out, but yeah. But everyone loves the neck pickup, the one he designed more. I like that bridge.
Rock Daddy said it should be on Zim's channel next week.
Right on. We'll have to keep an eye open for that.
So that'll be awesome. I'll definitely have to keep an eye out for it because
Lamb got a LP with P90, so it's unusually microphonic pickups. I could see that. I don't know. Does Gibson actually wax pot their P90s?
I don't think they do.
I don't think they do.
As a matter of fact, I don't know of too many manufacturers that do wax pot P90s.
Mine are. I believe.
Oh.
I think. Pretty sure. I thought they were. Oh, Bo's back at the command center. Nice. Nope. Okay.
With a piece of cake.
Nope. I don't have a P90 handy to check.
What? P90 guitars? I think I got some laying around here.
I know my single coil sets are wax potted.
Yeah.
Hey, Scott. Because even with my bridge pickup, Trev, the Telly bridge pickup, I don't know how much you know about Telly bridge pickups. I know Terry knows enough to get him into trouble on a dark alley, but that's okay, Terry. That's what I know. I might know a ton. But you remember the old ones, Terry? They do the string around the bobbin or around the winds. Do you remember that, Trev? It's just like white string, and then they'd then they would dip it. That's what mine are. We sourced out the string to put around because that's what they had back in the day, and there's supposed to be like a 53 Telly pickup set, so that's what you do. I think we also did the bottom of the pickups different too. It's just like
the
cardboard.
Oh, cardboard, yeah.
I think, yeah, because that's what they used back in the day. It's like, all right.
Doug's rolling in. Kids are down.
What's up, Doug?
Hey, Doug.
Kids are finally down. That's not too bad. That's not bad. It's okay. And by the way, your kids were the highlight cameo of the Zoom call on Saturday.
Yes, that was so
Here's a
awesome.
button.
Yeah.
Your little pigtail.
Coming with a little
Funny, hey,
pigtail.
there's Amanda. Huh? And then, oh.
What's up, Mesa Guitar Guy? Good to see you, my friend. Your toque is in the mail, Mesa. Once you hit day 30, your logo turns into a toque.
Right.
I was thinking, Trev, I like the red toques, but, I was going to do, like, membership after so long, your toque changes color, because I found a bunch of the same toque emoji, but then it was like, I don't know, I like red because it's Canadian, though. So I was like,
Yeah, I was going to say the Earl Slick branded pickup sets from Guitar Fetish. His 53 set is exactly like what you're saying yours is.
Yeah.
Your Telly
I don't know
set.
what it is exactly, Michael Krause. It's some, like, I don't know, it almost looks like, because it's black, it doesn't look like cardboard, because Dan Electro will probably just do colored cardboard. I don't know.
Oh, that reminds me, Ben, you might not have been, if you would have seen Brian Seltzer's Reverb page with all the stuff that he sold off, you might not have been a fan of him for very much longer. He had a double neck Dan Electro.
No, those motherfuckers are cool, Terry. Those things are cool. I have no problem with that, because, again, he didn't pay thousands of dollars for the pieces of stuff that are worth a few $100. He would have snagged on that for $150 back in the day. Yeah. No. Yeah. Those Dano double necks, they're cool. Like the Dano baritone that clearly needs pots replaced if you buy a new one, folks. Drinking with dad is a valid excuse. Also, drinking with your kids helps them go down easier at night. Just a little mix.
Yeah, I think it sold for
yes, UPS Brown
$1,800. I looked just for shits and giggles.
I would imagine it was
Brent
vintage.
Seltzer's Reverb listing. Everything that was listed was sold.
He's been a gear. Well, because think about it, when he was playing all the Gretches and stuff, right in the early '80s, nobody's playing that shit.
Yeah,
I don't know, like your Mike Campbells and stuff, but like because that stuff, you had to have a lot of that stuff because your gear breaks down and stuff. So he was always peeping on vintage gear.
He probably had
Eddie Pace obsessed with that hammer trap. No pressure.
Yeah, he probably had about around 20 Gretches listed. I was like, oh.
No, I'm curious. Kurt says Dan Electro next with the first with the double truss rods. Is that like a two-way truss rod, or the actual 2 truss rods like Rickenbackers. What? Just put 1 big one in. Don't put 2. Why 2? 2 hassle. Can't get a fucking wrench in there. Save your life. Sort of like when I saw Charles attempting wood binding, Trev, and I went, nope, I'm not doing that. Similar watching our friend Dave from the World of Fun Stuff when he's doing a setup on a Rickenbacker with the dual truss rods. I'm like, nope, I am not doing one. And I was like, I understand why he doesn't like working on them. 2 truss rods for strength. Okay.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, John Deshane. 7 truss rods, 4 ways each.
Yeah.
God, can you imagine how thick that neck would be?
Might be a problem with some neck dive on that one.
Just a little.
I think they'd be good for your left arm biceps, so holding that thing up over there.
Guitar Man 45 does not have a 1 guitar with 2 truss rods. All right. How does Guitar Man 45 not own a single Dane Electro? Or not Dane Electro, Rickenbacker?
Yeah, that's true.
You need 1 Ricky. You gotta have 1. You know, it doesn't have to be a stereo 12 string. Or they got those. I don't know if you remember, for a period of time on the 12 strings, Trev, they had a mute that would only mute like the octave strings, so it effectively turned it into a 6 string.
I think I remember seeing that.
Yeah,
That
like
was
those
kinda
felt
cool.
pads last more than a song and a half. Going an hour. Wow, I got a bit of a sore throat. Talking today, hanging out with my sister. Blah blah blah.
Give him away in the 90s. To an elementary school for band. Well, there you go. Honorable discharge.
Nice. Okay. I was thinking he would have had like a Ricky bass around or something, right? But okay. So he doesn't sell here. He was correct, Trev. Gives it away, doesn't sell it. Gives it away. So doesn't sell it. But
That was
I am
actually
not
one of the
surprised.
things that was interesting that
They are small
Seltzer
necks, Michael Krause.
listed. Because he actually had a couple stand-up basses, actually.
Oof. That's something I wouldn't even attempt. Well, I would if I was alone in the room. But beyond that. And I'm going to do a dum-dum-dum. I'm not, like, because that's just going to, nope, sounds like death. You know, because I have no idea what I'm doing. Whoa.
Oh.
Easy
Melon
stuff.
Husk. Good question to you, Ben.
Did I ever meet Jeff Healy? Why does everything want to fall off the table? Because you built it into a stupid pile, Ben. You dumb fuck.
The extra humidity's making things slick.
Exactly. What does he mean? We're up to 51%. Sweet. All right, cool. That means I don't even have to run this all the time, probably. Awesome sauce. Just holding it. I even turned up the heater. I have the space heater in here. Furnace is going, and it's still 66.7. It went down. How do I turn up the heat and it gets colder in the room? Help
Cold
fella
outside.
understand. Must be just dropping in temperature outside. Wait a minute. What's the temperature outside? That's the question. So speaking of that, no. I don't think I ever had a chance to meet Jeff Healy. I had been almost. Well, still temperature was earlier. All right, that just confuses me even more. All right. I was a place, and there was a chance that I was going to have lunch with them, but it didn't pan out. If I'm remembering that memory correctly, and it was in fact him. Like, there was somebody involved, Terry, and I think it was Jeff Healy, but I'm talking like I was 12.
Yeah.
I want to say it was in '86. Possibly, I'm thinking he dropped into the Mariposa Folk Festival. just to hang out. And there was, because at that time it was at Molson Park and the brewery was still open, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And they had a restaurant, cafeteria, anyway, but a lot of the bigger names I'm performing, say, for instance, would eat there and stuff. I remember I had lunch with a Canadian boxer there, not George Savello. You should know this. He lives in fucking town here. He relocated to Belleville. He actually runs the local boxing club. Because I was like, I remember in the paper like 15 years ago, local boxers all do well. I'm like, how does that happen? And they're like, oh, Sean O'Sullivan. See? Because he was coaching.
Oh, Sean O'Sullivan, yeah.
Yeah, and then that was like in 86. Like, I don't know if he was still competing or just retired, whatever. And I think Jeff Healy was another day, but instead I went and I was hanging out with some musicians, and I didn't go to lunch with my mom. So, but when Jeff had his bar in Toronto, he used to do an open mic night on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, one of those days. And I've had a couple of friends perform there. They were both living in Toronto. They were a couple at the time, actually. When I knew them both separately in life, but I was like, "Oh, you guys were a couple at one time?" I didn't know her yet in life, and I had already known him in life, and so. Anyways,
that would have been a big
and they used to go performing, and he'd be there from time to time.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what was the question?
If you had met Jeff Healy,
right?
That's what I said. If it would have been me, that probably would have been one of my biggest highlights as someone who played guitar and as a Canadian.
Yeah, I've met several Canadian musicians. I met a couple musicians from Doug Strong's town there, Hamilton. One I mentioned a while back when Stuart Cameron was on. Jackie Washington, blues musician, based out of Hamilton. Acoustic blues, Terry, like old school, like blues, like early Chicago blues, Mississippi blues, like you do music for the 20s, 30s, 40s, all the old stuff. And I had the pleasure of befriending him over the course of the festival. And then, what the hell is his name? Tom Wilson, singer from Junkhouse. Junkhouse was playing here at the Waterfront Festival one year, and I was there with a buddy and his girlfriend. Show wraps up. I'm just, like 14 sheets of the wind, probably. Yeah, more likely. Hey, Barry. Only trying to set them up. Fine if you don't have to play with Tom Wilson. Yeah. Thanks, Doug. I figured, local expert. So he was sitting there, and it was like right around 2000, I want to say, Trev. Like, they headlined the show, and a girl I used to date, she was there working for one of the local papers, and she was going to interview the band after the show. And so she's like, do you want to go meet the band? I'm like, okay, mazel. And I go up, and at that time, Tom, like, I remember Junkhouse, fucking dude with the fucking hair. And I just walked up, and he had hair like yours, Terry, and I went, why'd you cut your hair? Like, what? I'm like, because me, Trev, me, no filter, none. I'm like, yeah, why'd you cut your hair? Like, it's short. You just have long hair. It was cool. You guys rocked. Now you got short hair. I'm like, yeah, it would have been 2000. Because I was like, oh, it's 2000. I guess everybody's cutting their hair, but Jesus. I actually had fairly short hair at the time, too. So, who am I to judge? What's up, Riff?
Cheers, Randy.
Yeah. and this girl's just like, because we were talking a bit earlier, and she's just looking at me like, you're an idiot. I invited you back here. That's the question. I'm like, yep. And then I think, and then they're like, you want us to sign something? I'm like, I guess. So I had them sign the inside of my hat, because it's white. This is wearing a black Adidas hat because, again, 2000. And they said, and then it got fucked up by the time, I wore it another time or something. I don't know if I still have that hat. I think the whole band signed the hat, come to think of it. So I got a Adidas ball cap signed by Junkhouse somewhere, if I still own it. Not that you would be able to make out the signatures, I'm sure, at this point. But she didn't talk to me after that, Trev, after that night. I reached out, and there was... I was like, okay. Yeah, you don't... Yeah, John's the same way. No filter. Yeah. Then it was a couple years later when Theory of Dead Man was playing in town, and they're like, you having a good time? I'm like, no! You guys suck. Oh, I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have done that. No one. I like Jeff Healy. He was super cool. I always just thought it was awesome that he was known outside of Canada. He was quite well known.
Yeah.
I was shocked. Yeah. And one of the, because blues isn't, it's a thing, but it's not a thing. It's not like they're, I don't know. I'm thinking, same accent, same. Oh, let's take Platinum Blonde. Platinum Blonde, I assume, because they did so much pomp and circumstance, with the Pro Shot videos or whatever, and that you would think, oh, they must have been broke. They're as big as Duran Duran. No. But on the other hand, Honeymoon Suite, they did break in the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
I know, because they still play there quite often. Casinos, mostly, folks. Want to check out Honeymoon Suite? Check your local casino.
Mm-hmm.
BC Rich, yeah, Terry had mentioned that. It's crazy.
Yeah. Cancer. Cancer sucks. F cancer.
Oh, my neck is stiff. I need a new neck. I need a truss rod adjustment. Yeah, Christine McVie, too. Rest in peace for Christine McVie. I got to listen to some Fleetwood Mac. I meant to do that last night, but then I got sidetracked. Tonight, I'm going to listen to some Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah, also shocking. Also, since we're mentioning, known people with deaths. Also, Bob from Sesame Street also as well passed away recently at the age of 90.
Yeah, one of the OGs. Yeah, that's great. I like Bob. Bob's Fix-It Shop, which was next door to Mr. Hooper.
I had forgot about that until you had mentioned that, and I was like, oh, shit, yeah, that's right.
Next door to Mr. Hooper's. I remember. We're old enough to remember when Mr. Hooper was still a character.
Oh, God, yeah.
Exactly, BC Rich. Spinal truss rods make life so much easier. 2 carbon fiber rods next to the spine. You're good to 90. Exactly. A couple Canadian bands I met here. D-Mac says Mo Berg from Pursuit of Happiness and Hugh Dillon from the Headstones. I assume then D-Mac is in Toronto. Not that Mo Berg lives in Toronto. You know why Mo Berg lives in Toronto, Terry? His wife works for the Toronto School Board.
Interesting.
Easier than commuting. How do I know this? I'm friends with Mo on Facebook.
Oh, that would be a good reason to know.
I don't know if he still does. For a long time, he was DJing one night a week at one of the clubs downtown. He would do like a 80s retro night DJing. Just a fun thing. It wasn't like that DJing, like not Tommy Lee DJing, like not active, passive DJing, which is press play. That.
BC Rich brings up a valid point. He goes, because he can afford to. Well, if his wife works on the school board, they can afford to.
Yeah, she's been working for the school board for a long time, type thing.
Yeah, you'd be getting quite the coin.
Oh, I'd imagine. Yeah. Funny story, Doug, about Hugh Dillon. I remember, what was the show, Flashpoint? The cop show, Flashpoint. Okay, CTV show for those outside. I think it was on in the U.S. too. Yeah, it did go. It was broadcast in the U.S. too. So I was a fan of that show. Girlfriend and me were watching it. And Trev, I'm gonna say, I don't know, almost the entire first season, like the whole time, I'm like, I know that guy. And he was doing Durham County as well on, I think, HBO or Showtime, one of those channels. But I didn't watch it. And I thought, well, maybe I just know him because of commercials and stuff, right? I'm like, no, I know that fucking voice. I know the fucking voice.
Yeah.
Right? But I didn't put... And all of a sudden, it was like episode 12. And all of a sudden, I'm like, we're sitting there, I'm like, that's the fucking singer from the Headstones. And my girlfriend's like, you're right! And we never put two and two together. Even though, like, I didn't realize Hardcore Logo, because he had a mohawk, but he's playing a cop with a shaved head. But then they do a close-up. I'm like, that dude's got a pierced ear. Like, like because you can tell, and I'm like, who is that dude? And all of a sudden, I'm like, fucking singer from the Heads. God damn it. I'm like, you're an idiot. But I refused to look it up or anything. Actually, I don't know if I could. Well, I suppose I could have got on the computer to go look it up because we didn't have the phones at that time.
Right.
Imagine Guess Who and BTO were before your time, Ben. I've seen BT in concert. There was no Overdrive. Because remember when they reformed there, Terry and Trev, about 10 years ago? Yep. They even brought out an album, Bachman Turner. Yep. I saw that. I saw them in concert. Did not realize how many of the songs Frank Turner sang in that band, actually. I just thought it was, Randy being a little grittier in the voice, like belting it out a little more. No, those are Fred Turner sung songs. Oh, damn it. I'm an idiot. Now, Guess Who? Yeah, that's been a staple of Canadian radio. Like, how you can't avoid the Guess Who growing up.
No.
Because they had so much different stuff. Like, you could be listening to easy listening station. There's Undone. Because it's jazz.
Yeah.
Basically.
That was weird. That one.
Ryan Hall saw BTO with Van Halen. That's an interesting dynamic. That's cool.
That would be pretty cool.
That would be a weird dynamic. Wow.
I remember Much Music live ticket, Trev, the big ticket. Was that called the big ticket? When they actually did concerts back when they were still pay TV.
Right.
But it was on a weekend where it was like the free promo weekend. It was BTO live from a prison. I'd like to know what prison that was. And there's Randy with the old sleeveless Canadian tuxedo. The jean jacket vest. I'm like, oh, look at you, Randy. All in the headband, looking all like combination of Mike Reno and Bruce Springsteen look.
Oh, that's interesting, John.
What's that? Oh, I had a mini lesson from Randy Bachman. Yeah, Randy and his son, both live out in BC. Much Music does still exist, but they don't show videos. And now they're just known as Much.
Yeah. A lot of The Simpsons, I think, on it.
Yeah,
the
I had...
there was an MTV Canada at one point in time, which was like, what's the friggin' point?
Yeah. I haven't had any interaction with Randy Bachman. I've had some interaction with his son. Communications through social media and stuff. I was at a wedding and a friend of his was there. And she's like, oh, you'd like my friend Tal. I'm like, that's an interesting name. Where do I know that name from? And she'll say, yeah, Tal Bachman. I'm like, oh, fuck. Right on. By the way, Trev, he loathes writing that song.
Yeah.
The big hit. I'm like, do you loathe it when you still get residual checks of any kind? Because you probably made a couple bucks off that one hit. Because it was a big hit. But none of the rest of his music sounds anything like that. It was a one-off kind of thing. It was kind of like Alanis pre-Jagged Little Pill. In his opinion.
I was just going to say, that's something that's been noted throughout time. There's been a lot of musicians that have written music.
I'm just looking at the names that John's putting in the chat, Trev. I'm like, it's like this guy, they all live there. I'm like, yeah, fucking Ron, fucking Sexsmith is lurking around them for sure. He's lurking around. Keep that action. That's it, Mesa. See, now, if Mesa Guitar Guy knows it and didn't Google it, Trev,
Yeah.
Towel made some money. He made enough to buy a house. Not a big house, but he could buy a house. Like a house like this, or whatever.
For sure.
Yeah, and I think he and Randy were doing a podcast together for a while. I don't know if they're still doing it or not.
About Aldenova. You ever run into him?
I've never run into Aldenova.
Songs for other people. He made more money off of.
He's out of Montreal.
Yeah.
Yeah, Eddie Fay, I agree. Yeah, the grief that Loverboy get. Yeah, Loverboy Live wasn't the same as the singles. Like, the singles was, here's all the keyboards up front. Whereas live, they're a rockin' band.
Yeah.
Too Loud McLeod on guitar, right?
I don't think so.
Wasn't he Loverboy?
No. He was Headpins.
Oh, right. Well, yeah. Well, there's that relation between the Headpins, Street Hard, Loverboy.
Mike Reno singing, and who was the guitar?
But yes, and they create breakdowns too. Like, for all the ballads of the '90s, Terry, which he always did a lot of ballads, but some of his songs were rocking. Paul Dean, thank you. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
I should know that. I got a Paul Dean guitar pick, for fuck's sakes. Yes, Aldenova is from Canada.
Yeah.
Loverboy's from Edmonton, Trev?
No, here, West Coast.
Okay.
They're Vancouver.
But
band.
maybe some of the guys, because similar Vancouver, much like LA, you would have some melting pot isms.
Well, they all come here to make it big eventually.
Yeah.
Your Nickelbacks and other
plus,
Alberta guy.
How much does gigging suck if you're based in fucking Edmonton? You're at the end of the road. You got to go. Everything involves driving to Calgary and then turning left or right. Like, that's the way it works in Canada.
My first concert was in '82. It was Aldenova and Street Heart. Street Heart was a great band live. But Kenny Shields was an animal.
I'm Mother Earth from Peterborough, Ontario.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds good. Yeah. Interaction with I'm Mother Earth. I went to basically the first show with Edwin back in Peterborough a few years ago. That was fun. See you, Richard. We're going to wrap things up as well here. So we've got well over the hour mark.
Yep.
But
yeah.
Excuse me. What else do we got? Frank Marino, Canadian. Yep. Oh, speaking of which, if you're a Big Sugar fan, my fellow Canucks, Big Sugar is currently on tour. Check them out. Closest show to me is in Peterborough, which I'm debating going. Oh, wait. That's like tomorrow night. No, it's Wednesday night. Dang it, I got plans. I couldn't disagree with you, John. You're more than welcome, Barry. Please hit the thumbs up and subscribe. You're welcome back anytime, especially if you enjoy it.
Rock Daddy, you would like Too Loud McLeod, I think.
Yep.
He earned his title.
Yeah, what was I going to say? So, coming up this week, we've got Soda Pop video. I don't know what's going on Friday. We'll figure that out before Friday. This Sunday, we have Charles Green. More stories from the Sunset Strip and surrounding areas. Next Sunday after that, we have JJ's House of Jams. Then we do the Christmas special. Then we're doing New Year's Day. And then the day after New Year's Day, group hang. We're going to have Pete Thorne on, hopefully. So that's going to be a lot of fun. So he's been Trev. That's been Terry. I've been Ben. You've been you. Hold those doors open. Let Doug's wife in ahead of you in traffic because she's real. Be well. Good, happy tone chasing. And, of course, don't litter.
See you, dude.
Loud.